Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Dr. Derrick DeSilva. We are at the 2016 AMMG conference in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're at the Bellagio Hotel, and it's a pleasure to have with me Chef Leah Sarris. You are the chef and program director, is that right?
Director of Operations.
Director of Operations.
Which is a recent upgrade.
Well,
position.
congratulations.
Thank you.
At the Goldring Center for Culinary Medicine at Tulane University.
Yeah.
How does a chef get into a medical school at a major university? How did that happen?
Great question. So this program at Tulane was really, the idea was started about 6 years ago to teach medical students about nutrition through hands-on cooking classes, through our then dean of the medical school.
So this is not just, hey, we're going to do a nutrition course.
No.
We're going to cook.
We have a full-blown kitchen. Yeah, so of course they need someone that can teach that.
Sure.
So they were looking for someone with a background in culinary arts, nutrition, community outreach, because we do have a big community aspect to our program, and that can teach. So that's how I ended up there, because of my unique background.
So tell me a little bit about your unique background.
Sure, I have a degree in culinary nutrition from Johnson & Wales University.
What does that mean?
It's kind of what it sounds like. It's not too far off from culinary medicine. It meshes well together. You learn both the culinary arts tenets, but you also learn the basics of nutrition. More than the basics of nutrition, it's actually an accredited program, so students come out of this, do their dietetic internship, and become registered dietitians. So they're dietitians and chefs, so we can truly talk to people about how to make great food that just happens to be good for them.
So can I come and hang out with you sometime?
Please.
That would be so awesome. You know, I'm not the best or greatest in the
That's
kitchen,
okay.
but I
That's
like
why
to
I'm
get
here.
in. I like to get in there and get my hands dirty once in a while. And you know, for me, the whole thing. I was born in Sri Lanka, so the spices, you know, the curcumin, the garlic, the ginger. We have certain leaves that we use. You know, these are all add taste to the food. But there's medicinal value
Absolutely.
to that. I mean, do you get into that?
Not so much. More what our focus is on, and while we do touch on that, absolutely, more of our focus is on just general everyday eating habits and just trying to get people to eat less processed food and stop eating out and cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner at home. We call ourselves home ec for the 21st century.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
How are the medical students responding to this?
It's been really fantastic. We've now actually started integrating this into the curriculum. So every medical student that comes through Tulane is taking at least 3 hands-on cooking classes, and then they can opt to do 6 more to do the complete elective. And really the response has been overwhelming from them. We also have 4th-year visiting medical students, and at this point I have to turn people away because we just can't hold
How about
them.
attendings? Attendings can come in?
Yeah, we have had a few attendings as well, yeah.
Visiting attendings
yes,
can come in too?
absolutely.
Okay.
Come hang out.
Okay.
We would love. We've had residents, we've had really everyone from every dimension come to our center.
What has been the thing that has surprised you the most about your program?
I think how fast it's grown. You know, I came on just over 4 years ago, about 4.5 years ago, and we started building the curriculum from scratch. And I thought people would be interested in it, but it's a pretty novel idea when you first hear about taking medical students and putting them in a kitchen. And you might scratch your head a little, but in the 4 years we've done it, we've remade the curriculum multiple times based off of our research and feedback and things we need to improve. And before we knew it, we're now licensed in over 15% of the medical schools in the U.S. So 25 medical schools, 6 residency programs, and 2 nursing schools are licensing our curriculum at this point, which to me is insane.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Mediterranean diet. It's the big buzz. It's the big buzz diet. Tell us a little bit about that and how you incorporate that into your cooking.
So the Mediterranean diet was born off the research by Ansel Keys, who was an epidemiologist, after we realized that people in Mediterranean countries were living long, healthy lives. So we started researching why that is, what they're eating, what their lifestyle is like. And they've researched it in depth. We have so much research to support that the Mediterranean diet helps people to live longer and healthier lives now, which is why that's what we're teaching because of course we're a research-based institution. So it has 9 tenets that people think it's probably going to be about Mediterranean food, but it's really just about ingredients. So it's things like including more vegetables, more seafood, more fruit and nuts, more legumes, decreasing our amount of dairy and meat, and also actually a little bit of alcohol as part of the Mediterranean diet.
We're not talking about getting buzzed every night.
No,
We're
no, it's
talking about
1 to 2 drinks.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
For,
well, I
people,
always say it doesn't mean you can have 14 drinks on a Saturday night.
Right.
That's inflammatory and obviously very bad for you. So.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that people have to keep in perspective is there's nothing wrong with a glass of wine.
No.
There's something wrong with a bottle of wine.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I tell my patients this all the time.
Absolutely.
Is that you really need to keep that whole thing in perspective.
Absolutely, we do too.
What about what has the response been from the community? Because you said you do
Yes.
community outreach. What do they do? What do you do there?
And that's been overwhelming too. So we actually provide free community cooking classes, teaching the same tenets we're teaching medical students. The only difference is with the medical students, we're actually showing them how to take this information and teach it to their patients. But realistically, the medical students struggle with the same things the community members struggle with. Time, not knowing how to cook, not knowing what healthy eating is, knowing how to eat affordably. And so these are all the things we really focus on in both the community and the medical students. And of course, when you start any community programming, especially from an unknown program, it starts slow. But it didn't take long for people to hear about it, mostly through word of mouth. But we also started getting a lot of media coverage. And now we have a waiting list that exceeds 3 months for our community classes. So they've extended. We have an adult beginner and an adult intermediate series. We have a family series where parents can cook with their kids. We have kids classes where they actually garden along with the cooking classes. We have on-site gardens.
Is this kind of the what is that? Something to table? What is that?
Farm to table.
Farm to table.
Yeah.
That type of a program.
It's really teaching about growing food and where the food comes from to help kids get a greater appreciation. And I find having more hands-on encourages them to try it more.
Define healthy eating for me.
We like to say healthy eating is about eating great food that just happens to be good for you.
Give me some examples.
And I try to do it where it's inclusive rather than exclusive. So really, it's about things you're already used to. Pasta, rice, eggs for breakfast, and how to cut down on things like cheese and processed meats and butter, and instead include things like olive oil and more vegetables, trying to include fruit, nuts into the things we're already making. So, for example, our first class for everyone is spaghetti, something we can all relate to. But we show kind of what we call our lunch lady version, which is just meat sauce on white pasta. And then we make small changes in 3 different versions that include more vegetables in the first one on whole wheat pasta. The third one is half lentils with the meat sauce and vegetables. And then the 4th version is actually completely vegetarian. It's an all lentil sauce.
Awesome.
So we go through and show. I do too. We love legumes. I swear I'm going to turn into a legume. We love legumes. So then we show them. We show the portion sizes. We talk about cost. We talk about the nutrition. We talk about the flavors and the textures. We talk about the presentation, how it looks, and how they compare to each other. So we're showing people how to make small changes to food that they're already eating to make a big impact in their health.
Give me a chicken recipe.
One of my easiest ones is chicken salad. We do it all the time. That's something as Americans we eat a lot. Mayonnaise, chicken. Well, usually when you get the deli, they've added a lot of sugar. Not really much good about that. We cut the chicken in half. We add a ton of vegetables. We add vegetables and fruit. So we get celery. You can add a cucumber if you want. We do raisins and apples chopped up. And we use yogurt, low-fat yogurt instead of mayonnaise. And if you want a little flavor, you can still add a little mayonnaise in there.
How about a little hummus?
Yeah, hummus is great. We talk about hummus a lot. We make it in class as well. And we actually do avocado too.
Yes.
Works very well. You get all those healthy fats in the avocado. Because really you want the texture. You need some fat in there. You're looking for that texture and you're looking for something, the moisture. So you have to have something, whether hummus or low-fat yogurt or avocado. Those are all great options for us. And then we talk about how to build flavor. So we add vinegar. We add mustard, we add some dried herbs or fresh herbs to show people how that changes the whole flavor dimensions in it.
Gotta put some cayenne in there, right?
If you feel like spicy, you
I
have that option.
I feel like the spice.
We live in New Orleans, so...
Oh, you gotta feel like the spice, right?
We put spice in everything.
Summarize your emotion about your program, and I can feel the emotion.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I can feel the passion for
Yeah.
this whole thing. But give me a summary that our viewers can take home, can take back to their kitchens of meal preparation.
I'm trying to just give people kitchen confidence. Don't be afraid to cook. Don't be afraid to try something. Don't be afraid of failure. You may fail, you may mess up, but you might learn something in the process. So I think a lot of it is just getting people to pick up a knife, pick up a recipe, and try to cook. Because just by cooking for yourself, it's automatically going to be healthier for you than anything you're going to buy that's already prepared.
Chef Leah Sarris, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
It's been
That
a
was
pleasure.
excellent.
Yeah,
That's been a
thank you.
pleasure. And folks, I thank you very much for joining us. I'm Dr. Derrick DeSilva, and may you always be blessed with good health.